Ferdinand, the Prince of Navarre, and his three friends, Biroun, Longueville, and Dumaine, all take a vow to entirely devote themselves to study for 3 years. Biroun is hesitant to promise to eat little, sleep less, and especially never to see or speak to women, but they all sign the promise. Who comes to their door but the Princess of France and her ladies, who are coming to visit? Ferdinand has made this promise not to allow women into his court, but barring royalty is a difficult thing to manage, so they meet with the ladies outside the court, in the fields, where they have camped, and find not just ladies, but ladies with whom these gentlemen have a romantic history. Don Armado, a fantastical Spaniard, talks with his page Moth about how he has fallen from his high status and fallen into love with the poor peasant girl Jacquinetta. He sends Costard to her with a letter. Biroun breaks his vow not to contact women and writes a love letter to Rosalind, and also sends his letter via Costard. But Costard mixes up the letters, and Biroun's love letter goes to Jacquinetta and gives Don Armado's letter to Rosalind. Biroun is waiting around wondering what Rosalind thinks of his letter when Ferdinand comes in. Not thinking anyone is there, reads over his own love poem for the Princess of France. And then Longueville comes in and confesses his love, and so with Dumaine, and they all find each other out. "You vow-breaker! You hypocrite!" And Biroun is just lording it over them all when Jacquinetta comes in with his love letter accidentally delivered to her, and all of the men are exposed to each other as breaking the vow. And so they decide that their vows were foolish, and they should pursue love and do everything they can to win the ladies. What better way to entice them to throw a masked ball, dress up as Russians, and flirt with them in turn? So they send the ladies gifts, but the ladies are not super impressed by the gentleman's "my vows don't mean anything" stance, and decide to make a joke of them, trading all their gifts so that the men will be confused and flirt with the wrong women. The women reveal their prank. Don Armado, Costard, and various other less noble characters put on a play of the 9 worthies as part of the revelries, and the gentlemen are vicious in their mockery, but the princess is a picture of graciousness. But the play is broken off. The princess receives word that her father has suddenly died, and she must return to court immediately. But we love you." The women say, "We really like you too, but you've shown yourselves to be entirely untrustworthy." Rosalind asks Biroun to use his witty banter not to weasel his way out of commitments, but to bring laughter to hospitals. And they all ask the men to wait a year until they're out of mourning. "And if you're faithful to us, and if you prove this was more than a joke, we'll get married then." And so the play ends without a resolution.